Kill all at
Your
once!
team is banning.
Come on, Dexter. It's our
Your
showtime.
team is banning.
I see lots of prey.
Your team is banning.
Ready, go!
Your team is picking.
I am a daughter of Northern
Your
Vale.
team is
I
picking.
swear to protect it till my last breath.
If time is a river, I'm swimming against the current.
See value in me?
Your team
You
is
should.
picking.
Hanabi, Sanjo.
Mighty oaks from little acorns
Your team is
grow.
picking.
Only love and night
Your
are
team is
everlasting.
banning.
I am more
Your team
than
is
a
banning.
weapon.
For honor!
Your team is picking.
I love the smell of gunpowder in the
Your
morning!
team is picking.
Sir, what's your command?
Everything engulfed in
Your
flames.
team is picking.
Test. Alpha is online.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed!
Your team is banning.
Everything engulfed in
Your
flames.
team is banning.
Kill all at
Your
once.
team is banning.
Sir, what's your command?
Your team is banning.
For honor!
Your team is picking.
Hope will find a way,
Your team
even
is
when all is
picking.
forlorn.
I am a daughter of Northern Vale. I swear to protect it till my last breath.
Mighty oaks from little
Your team is
acorns
picking.
grow. I love the
I've
smell
been
of
waiting for
gunpowder
too
in the
long.
morning.
Picking.
Hana, Sanjo.
Your team is banning.
I am more
team
than
is
a
banning.
weapon.
Only love and night
Your team
are
is picking.
everlasting.
Your team is picking.
Test. Alpha is
Your
online.
team is picking.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed!
And out. Looks like for both teams, they're willing to fight against the Lu Yi if anyone wants to pick it up anyways. But SRG, it's really on them at this time. Yeah. Either they're going to ban out the Roger, they're going to ban out the Ling, or they're going to have to let both of those go.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Moscow perhaps is an additional ban here for FCAP. They banned the Roger, so this is definitely a race for the Ling. And SRG might be considering just banning that out because I'm pretty sure the FCAP will prioritize taking that.
If that happens, if this is indeed the Ling ban, does FCAP go Lu Yi or Julian?
I think they will go Julian. It just makes a lot of sense.
Leave it out. Hey, Valentina's open too.
That's true. And yeah, Valentina is an okay hero when going up against the Julian. So I think SRG might be just very confident about giving that Julian up and maybe just ban the Ling. It's like one of your, sometimes when you're like, okay.
Let both of them open.
Oh,
we'll see. Do you want to take the Ling away?
Pick your poison.
Because again, like you guys said, they pick up the Ling. Maybe SRG picks up the Julian.
And they can't afford to let the Ling and Angela, or can they? They already beat it.
Yeah.
No. Oh. So that's definitely the Ling for Falcon Saber Brand. You answered this with a Valentina. Oh no, you answered with Angela.
Julian. Whoa! It's their turn!
I mean, again, like we just said, you take the Ling, I take the Julian.
This
right?
Could be, yeah.
Stormy. I'm sure you trust your boy.
I trust my boy, man.
Yeah.
The Mage Prodigy, I'm sure, has a Julian in him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the last time he used the Julian, that was like, what, season 10, season 9 or something like that. But
years ago, my dog.
But the thing is, when he's using the Julian, everyone else don't have to play.
Yeah.
He'll get all the kills.
That'll be...
Valentina Moscow all the way, I believe.
That'll feel great for the guys.
Barretts. How do you feel about this, Wolf?
For you to pick up these heroes in the face of a Julian, which you know to play very well, this must be FCAP knowing the
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but then that next was CC. I think you pick up the CC now for SRG.
Honestly, right now, I want to bring in the casters because for both Gideon and Mirko, I'm pretty sure you guys are watching the pick and bans here. So just want a general idea from you guys. What do you guys feel about the first 3 picks for both teams, FCAP as well as SRG?
We're kind of freaking out here. We were expecting the Ling to get first pick, but then afterwards we're hoping for Yuzong, another vehicle, deny them, and even from SRG side, like they can pick their poison whenever they want to.
They can really do that. I think at this point for SRG, going for, I mean, they already have the Julian, they go for the Claude here, and I get it. For both these, it's all about getting the Julian and the Claude into the mid to late game stage and then battle it out up against this composition.
Wait, is this a Yums, Angela? Because if you are saying what we think we're saying, then
there's
this is a mid Julian and
Again, it's like it's not really Yums' play style, but Yums is the kind of guy that he's a soldier. You ask me to play Fanny Rome, I'll do it.
It's actually a switch up in the dynamic. Correct me if I'm wrong, LaFell. Gideon, you're listening too. Because what I heard is Stormy says where to go, Yums drives.
Yeah.
Right? Stormy, so it's now Stormy doing the job and Yums just following up.
I mean, if they do that, it really is like just saying to Falcons AB brand, what you guys can do, we can do it too. Speaking of which, now we're looking at the bans here. Valentina getting banned out, Yuzong getting banned out. What do you feel about this, Wolf?
Yeah, Valentina, just a valid ban. I thought that should be the 3rd pick of FCAP, but they chose to go for the bats. Understandable because they want to secure that lane. I believe that you also ban what maybe interesting. I want to see ban Kadena because
I mean, we see SRG fought the Julian mid with a Phoveus. Maybe they have some kind of fighter situation in mid that they want to bring up as well.
Yeah, Few is the first one to actually rock
the mid Phoveus.
The mid Phoveus. So, yep, that's a pretty strong hero to pick up. But I guess the other hero is maybe the Minotaur ban. They banned Tigreal instead. So I think this confirms Julian to be the
mid,
the jungle. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you don't
makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of want to secure that the jungle farming pattern for the Julian.
I was thinking they were gonna double down and invest in another jungler that's physical.
Yeah.
Hence why they banned out the Tigreal.
Yeah. And then SRG goes what, Ruby this time. I think it doesn't. It just makes a lot of sense picking up the.
What about a CC?
Yeah, I still feel the CC is a great pick.
It's gonna show up.
It's gonna show up for sure. Maybe last pick, or maybe this pick actually. Yeah, no matter what, that's going to be CC. They're just gonna make sure that it's clear. But Ruby is a very safe pick here, the fourth pick, because it's not countered by anything at all. It has great synergy. You can put in the EXP lane if you're forced to do it. I see the world where it is actually picked up as the EXP lane.
Yeah, I compromised the link too. Like you show it a second, the weakness. It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Unlikely unless there's still room. There's still room for a Ruby.
Casters. What do you guys think about this Tamus pick against the lineup that Falcons AB brand have been showing?
I think that, honestly, it's coming to a point where what exactly are they trying to do? And I think it's going to be playing for these early first turtles to try and get to that mid game like Mirko was mentioning just now. And from FCAP's side, I mean, they've got to have some strong answers to this because the Barats already should be able to clear faster than the Thamas.
It's all about capitalizing on the mid game, yeah. It's all about capitalizing on the team fights because what the Thamas allows SRG to do is it allows kind of the whole team to buffer the engage, whereas the Moskov will have to really be careful as to how he actually goes into these team fights, and if he does go in a bit too early, the Vengeance will maul him.
Yeah. There's a Minotaur, very good pick because it counters the Cloud, and there's it's just about this a big nuke mage like the Lilia, because the Thams was already shown. You know that it kind of walks, so it has to actually walk and traverse lines. So Lilia makes a valid pickup here.
I love the adjustment. FCAP just says, you want to fight slow? Let's fight slow. Let's make the fight last forever.
Yeah.
If there's any player who knows how to make a Tams work, that's Flapteasy. He won a season championship off of that hero, playing very aggressively. So now it looks like they're going to try to tempo out SRG.
Grok looks decent for SRG, but I would say maybe an Edith. Maybe they'll just go back to the Edith. Oh, okay, the anti-Ling strat, of course.
He's gonna be on Kyle TZ for minute 0.
And this is Angela Hilda.
Okay.
That's scary. That's actually really scary.
It's a good draft, but I would still say it's a bit of a risk. But again, going up against world champions, you gotta take risks, man.
I love it.
Mirko, Gideon, I hope you guys are ready because it's your turn.
Holy cow, this draft, quickly threw a curveball here. I thought, hey man, this is gonna be tough because FCAP's comp, they're gonna eventually outscale, but it looks like from the side of SRG, they've decided upon, you know what? They've been winning out on the early game. It's time for us to show them what an early game looks like.
Oh, this is gonna be really interesting to see for SRG because technically, yeah, they have a lot of great early game pressure, but even in the later stage, they have that Claude to carry them.
Hopefully it's gonna be enough. We're coming into the land of dawn, boys and girls. It's game number 3. They've managed to jump as high as the Falcons, eye to eye. But can the Falcons soar even higher here in this match? Welcome to the land of dawn with Falcons AP Brent on the blue side, SRG on the red.
You can already see as the game gets started, the Hilda make a very aggressive maneuver in towards the enemy purple buff here. As the Angela definitely have to go and deal with the waves. And this is why the Lilia is going to be so good for Falcon's AP Brett. They get so much more prio and they can rotate over to Yums. Right now, he's already kind of struggling to actually get in the vicinity of that purple buff. Stormy has cleared it out. Kyle TZ on it. He'll be forced to maybe use the retribution at this point because Yums, he is there trying to screen it out. Kyle TZ bringing it into the bush. Retribution is going to be used. Yes, it does. Yums, successful invade.
Yep, really nicely done, but this means that he might just be going down here to Kyle, right? He is using Warcry.
Okay. Flickers out. Yums now doing some damage back. Now with the help of Few, this should be first blood over to Kyle TZ.
Look at the tempo, though, on the bottom side. After the EXP has been pushed out, they're getting Julian involved to start stealing away 1 or 2 camps here. So at least for guys, despite Kyle TZ getting 1 kill, he is a level ahead.
The gold for XP trade. I don't know how that's going to actually help SRG later on, but seriously, if Skies is able to steal a Lord with 2 levels down, I can only imagine if he's the one ahead that he'll not miss a single retry.
Well, we'll see whether Kyle actually still has his retry, considering how much pressure is being applied to him right now by Yums, right? We're expecting Yums to get even more aggressive after the 2-minute mark because then he's not going to get punished as heavily once he's invading those jungles. But take a look at this, right? They're setting up a potential counterattack here down on the bottom side, but SRG sense it.
Again, for Kyle, it's really tough for him to actually maneuver around because if he gets poked down, It's very tough for a Ling up against this kind of composition already. The Julian is actually a great pick against the Ling, so now that if he ever gets chunked before he enters, he's going to be punished even more, and SRG know it. That's why they're not in any rush to go for a neutral objective.
And especially since, guys, especially with the chains, right? In combination with Yums trying to disrupt Kyle TZ to maybe get a delayed hold on. He was taking a bit of damage here. He's still got Black Shoes, so he technically should be fine, but now Cram involved.
Again, jumping into the midst of it all, has the helmet. Hard guard, pops into Vengeance, jumps to the back line again, dealing damage on the Kyle TZ, forcing him back. Cram standing there menacingly, zoning them away. But Kyle will try to make his way back. That's a flicker forward. Jetson is welcome to the pin down now into the knockout. Knock up into the Fury as well. What a combo from Falcons AP Bren. Stormy able to flicker out to safety. Cram will do so as well. What a recovery.
Really nicely done. Very nicely done. The weird part is that we did see Cram spot out the Ling on the mid wall when it all occurred, right? For all intents and purposes, Molten Size, he could definitely throw it at him. Try to push him off that, try and honestly push him off of that wall. Maybe even get Yums to help out with that as well. But instead, they start peeling backwards and they completely forget that Flap has the flicker.
Flap TZ on the Barats. He makes it feel like a Ling. He makes it feel like it's a mechanical hero. Detona's welcome flicker combo connecting every single time, even in game number 1, finding the prio targets. He was able to find the target he needed, and it was Skies. Straight into the pin, and now we get a look at the items. Does look like for at least Innocent, he's actually quite a bit ahead. 300 gold as he goes in for the push. Turn of the night, the waves from Super Marco, immobility. Super Marco able to get out now, trying to go for the pin down out the sky. Spear of Destruction as well. Now onto the back, bringing him back over for Kyle TZ to assassinate him. Well played, but the in-house sword gets him out, Skies. Not for long. Stormy caught as well. They find a trade, but it's definitely not worth it, not just yet. 2 members down. Yums dealing some damage. Not able to go for the full assassination on the few. It's actually him forced to flicker out. Baptiste, the Dino, walking back as well to knock up, and then everything in the kitchen sink to deal with Yums.
Ooh, okay. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised the fact that Sakai stayed alive that long to chunk out Super Marco like that. At the end of the day, it's still a very well worth trade for Falcons AP Bread. Now Super Marco's got 4 assists in the bag. Ogwin, unfortunately, has 2 kills, but hey, you take what you can get at this point of time, right? As long as you're able to accelerate Kyle TZ, he's going to drive the momentum for Falcons AP Bread. SRG need to have much cleaner fights right now. Let's look at the items one more time, and the lead still in favor of Innocent.
Again though, in the purple buff, Yums, Power of Wilderness already used up the Retribution. Baited out of the Kyle, but now with the Defiant Blade, he should be able to deal with Yums. He tried to get into that push, but it will only give Kyle the unstoppable he needs. 5-0, Flask of the Oasis Power Spike for the Minotaur.
Yeah, but despite all that, 5-0-2, a wonderful KDA to have. And yet, guys, despite being 0-2-1, the same level as Kyle TZ, they're doing something right here, right? They are trading gold for a little bit of extra time and EXP. And that is going to keep SRG in the game because, as we mentioned before, it's about that mid-game, right? That big mid-game spike.
Cram, poke down a bit. Good position on that choke point. Cram unable to really go in. The missiles not able to connect right now, but Cram will be brought back forward. Pops in the ultimate, has the heart guard to play with. Stormy is hovering over him. Taking a lot of damage though, Kyle now. Able to recover, able to clear some waves, able to clear some of the creeps. 1 level ahead of Skies. He's back again.
And finally, for the very first time, we see SRG say, no, we're not going to contest. We're finally just going to retreat. And Stormy's going to top off his boy Cram here because it could be a setup angle for a dive. And I think that's a very good call considering everything that has happened here. But in the mid lane, at least the guys finding opportunities. Wait, that just is... They're not going to dive that for sure. But let's look at the goal difference, right? Because while everything is happening, it looks like Innocent has been doing a phenomenal job, now extending his 500 gold lead to an 800 gold lead.
He can go band for band. He can go M for M with Super Marco.
I was not going to follow up you on that reference. I knew you were going to pull it out as well. Let's look at the items because now you can see that the 800 golds make only the slightest difference, right? It's Golden Staff already built on top of that DHS. But let's cut back to the supports because the Flask of Oasis is going to be a lot better than just Steel Paints.
Gotta be careful though. Look at this. The Dynoman up top. Oh, one with a knock-up, getting chunked down. It's a bit of damage. I think it was from the turret, Yums, and then a few basic attacks from Innocent too. Now walking up forward. BMI defensively again. Both teams really just looking for an angle to find an advantage.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Kyle TZ has built. I just saw the GDS actually getting purchased, and I don't know if he's fast-forwarding the GDS instead of getting the Haasclaw, or maybe he already has the Haasclaw in time on top of the Berserker's Fury, right? That's the atypical build that we like to see. Wait, he's not gonna...
Force him to play it. Skies has the enhanced sword, goes for the chase down, has a hard guard to help him too. Kyle TZ gets out. And SRG want to capitalize. Cram straight into the bottom lane. Wants to cut this wave to find that prio.
And it just goes to show that KDA isn't everything to all of our ranked demons out there, man. Like, look at that. He's a full level down, and you compare it 5-0-2 to 0-2-1. In what world does that win?
In this world. 7 minutes in, Game 3 of the Grand Finals of MSC 2024. But Super Marco will be able to utilize that advantage up top, the 3-man advantage, to take a Tier 1. Now straight into the bottom lane, utilizing the movement speed, but SRG are on it. Sky, Stormy, and Cram. Look at maneuvers coming in from Falcon's AP brand, trying to recover the space. Need to be chunked by Yums. Forced to flick around, actually. Super Marco with the Abyss Walker, also with the Spirit of Misery, trying to really go for the poke onto Innocent as Kyle TZ holds on, and no purple buff on him. Flap TZ, in the midst of it all, caught in the poke. So much poke praise on him, still able to flicker next to this Welcome, finding Skies again, and this time it's going to be Skies, dealing some damage back again. Ogun with a mock-up, Kyle TZ with a blaze, still able to survive Cram with a vengeance. Yums in the back, it's Skies getting soloed. Ogwin will fall as well to Innocent. A trade for now. The Falcons AP brand, they secure all 3 neutral objectives.
I mean, at this point, I bet even the audience is tired of like, how does only 2 people die? Despite everything that has happened, these battle spells, these flickers especially are proving extremely valuable. I would have imagined at the very minimum that maybe few probably needed to purify or something, but even Flap TZ, wow, that was just, man, how does he get away with this?
I can't believe he's done it. What, at this point, I don't even know how many times he's done it, but the fact that he keeps getting Skies, and in game 1 he kept getting Innocent. Barat's the death to his welcome. Usually we see the death to his welcome miss, especially when it's combo with the flicker. This guy still gets it every single time.
Man's got aimbots somehow. It's inbuilt to his fingers somehow. I don't know. There's no explanation for it.
There is an explanation.
Good. What is the explanation?
Toby Maguire got bit by a spider. Flap TZ got bit by a goat.
This guy is just, he's too good. He's too good. But at the same time, right, SRG continue to try and keep it even with Falcon's AP brand. Yes, it is a 3K differential between the 2 teams, but we've seen time and time again that SRG have made miracles happen, and Falcon's AP brand are now taking a much slower approach to SRG than they have before. They're not just throwing people at the wall and hoping that it sticks.
Here, though, you can see Yom's trying to screen out Skies, able to clear out the mini wave in the bottom lane, and again, for Selangor Red Giants, they have a really good way to actually minimize their losses, right? Every single time they're actually behind, when they don't have tempo around the map, they're still able to catch every single wave, while also denying any pickoff from happening, which is very, very impressive up against a team like Falcons AP Bren. Usually a 1,000 gold lead means that it will give them a billion more opportunities to look for pickoffs around the map.
Yeah, but it's starting to look more even. Even we're talking about like priority, right? Like Cram half the time is able to kind of match up unless we do see Flap TZ sacrifice a bit of his wave just to get there on time. That's the cost. That's the big brass tacks that both of these teams are applying onto each other. Every single one of these moves need to have purpose, and it always comes with a cost. That being said, though, this Lord Dance is going to be extremely important for the 2. The worst part about it is that Falcon's AP Brem probably can do it slightly better thanks to the help of Ogren on this Minotaur.
Slowly but surely, again, for Falcon's AP Brem, this is the new version of the Lord Dance. With the changes, it's all about the Lord, can we call it a step? It's a tap dance, kind of back and forth a little bit, you know? It's a tango.
Cha-cha. Yeah, it's a tango. It's much more of a tango than it used to be, than just sitting and doing the waltz, right? But at the end of the day, Minotaur is really, really good at...
Ooh, almost catching him with the enhanced chain, but Kyle still able to utilize the Finch poise. He is low, though. He'll get the motivation roar. He'll get that sustain.
I think this is a pretty good opportunity for SRG to start taking the space back here. However, Few not making it easy, right? Drawing the borders in the river, making sure Gloom is going to set the tone for this upcoming fight.
Oh, what a nature. Perfect timing here for Falcon's AP Bren. Now it'll come down to Skies to really deal with Super Marco. Yums in the front, trying to deal some damage on the Flap TZ. Will be able to do so as Cram walks up forward as well. Jumps into the midst of it all, still able to pop the ultimate. Now Innocent, deals some damage, jumps in the midst of it all again, jumping forward, Super Marco. What a nature, but Skies goes in for the assassination, still able to find his Spirit of Misery. That's his welcome with the pin down. But now the winner Cram from Skies. He tries to stay alive, but Kyle TZ is an absolute monster.
They find 3 so far. Kyle, he's not going to die here, but look, 12-2, and SRG finally making a big mistake here. As we look at the replay, this looked like a great engage, and I think it was a good idea that even Yum's flickering forward to try and disrupt the backline, especially since Super Marco honestly was in a pretty dangerous position. Now they're in their base. Can they close it?
Stormy trying his best to actually evade from him. The Cannon Minion not in range just yet. Cram, he did what he needed to. He stopped the minion from getting into the range. But still, it's another 2 members down.
At this point, like you mentioned before, Wind of Nature came at a very convenient time for Super Marco. Without that, he probably would have died to Sakai's or wouldn't have enough health to actually survive from him. Luckily, he still played it as best as he could. Oh, God.
Yum's pinned down, flicker forward, and has sword from Sky, Spear of Destruction! Super Marco with a chase forward to find a double!
A statement piece by Falcons AP Bren with a double kill from Super Marco. But they gotta breathe for a moment. These chain deaths from SRG is supercharging Falcons AP Bren as they're pushing the momentum to the crystal.
The base wide open. Super Marco will deal with him, but he'll go for Cram just first. So Marco taking a hold of that with the vengeance! And the turret shot takes him down. Cram against the world. Now it's Stormy against the world. He'll still be able to survive. You chasing him down is a mistake. Falcons AP Bren, they still have a Lord to play with.
Innocent and 4, Sakai's already back alive. Falcons AP Bren, did they mistime this, unfortunately?
They did.
They recover. Let's breathe for a moment here because we know that this whopping score might just mean nothing in just a little bit. So far, gold differential, a full 7K ahead. When we look at the items, the Winter Crowns have already been purchased since earlier, but now even more people have it with more invulnerability frames to work with. At this point, the question really is, SRG, how are you going to make this miracle happen again? Can somebody deal with this Daytona's welcome from Flat TZ? And more importantly, Few. Now that he has the Ice Queen's wand, it's very dangerous to walk up.
I think it's all about Skies with the enhanced scythe. If he really wants to deal with Death in his welcome, it's all about him evading and then trying to melt Flat TZ down. Look at Yums going in onto Few with the Power Wilderness. Cram as well forcing the Black Shoe. Skies right there, goes in for some damage with Lazy Dude. Few still able to escape, but Yums chases him down. Skies win a crown in the midst of it all. As Owen gets isolated, Skies will too. Flap Teasy, Detona's welcome, now into the mist, pinning him down straight for Super Marco again! The Spear of Destruction, whiffing this time, Stormy able to survive. The same 2 members, Cram and Stormy. Can they do it again? This time, dodging away from the missiles, able to go for the clear onto the waves, no lore to play with. Have they survived again?
I think it's fine for SRG. It's going to be hard to close it out at this point in time with 3 members still alive, right? But they trade 2 for 2, and I think at the end of the day, it should be good enough. Oh, no.
Dark Guard and the ultimate now turning things around, forcing to win a crown from Flap TZ. He's going to be melted down, but so is Cram. Super Marco with the help of Kyle TZ picks up a double. The mini wave's still there. They're going to go for it, and they will secure game number 3.
Oh my goodness, this game is coming down to the inches here. The chain deaths coming in from SRG side, supercharging and doubling the momentum generated by Falcons AP Bren. Put them in such a bad spot. Miracles only happen when you work for them and you make some good decisions. That one was not on top of the list.
Well played. Falcons AP Bren, they really adjusted to the mistakes they made in game number 2. They weren't composed enough. They weren't controlled enough. And in game number 3, they decided it's all the way from the start to the finish.
Consistent step-by-step process. Falcons AP Bren really showing why they're some of the best players and the defending world champions. I think that SRG, unfortunately for them, this is going to put them in their place a little bit more. Falcons still in the air. They're still punching up towards them despite being giants.
All this time, even after the miracle defenses, Falcons AP Bren still fly above the rest.
Well, analysts, it's time for you to break this down. What could both of these teams have done better?
I mean, I feel like we can go very different angles here, but I do have to say, for the 2 games that SRG lost was with that Angela. Even though it did look good, but it looks like it's not good enough to get that W.
I hate to say it, during the draft, we were all saying, hey, maybe it's time to put Stormy on a hero that is actually proactive, that has the mechanics and the damage to output to actually put the team on his back. But no, the glaring thing here for me personally would be the Hilda on Yumes. We saw it as a bold choice.
Yeah.
Definitely one way to maybe stop Kyle TC's Ling. But in essence, it's such a reactive hero. I really didn't feel much of Yumes.
Gimmicky.
They were a step behind for the most part.
And okay, so my argument with that is it works. I would say this is a regular season or a group stage kind of answer to the Ling, right? Because you can see that it can easily like trump the early stages, and if it does become successful, it's gonna be great. Ling is gonna struggle. However, this is the grand finals and they have solutions for that. I'm sure that prior to picking up the Ling, you're also prepared for that. So I think that if you dedicate taking the Angela and taking the Hilda, then just to answer one pick,
exactly,
that's not that economic if you think about it.
It was a permanent solution to a temporary problem that, you know, maybe even FCAP was ready for. Honestly, not just maybe. They literally were ready for. It's very rare that you don't feel Yumes, especially since he started playing for SRG.
Honestly, the one that really seemed to be a problem was Flap as well as Few on this Barats, as well as the Lilia. The Lilia did her job very well, zoning out SRG far away.
Okay, so what you achieve from this pick, right? If you pick up the Lilia, you get late prio. You trump the Angela in a mid versus mid matchup. There's no way the Angela can win that matchup. Then you get out of the lane. You super serve your teammates by applying the damage because you're uncontested in the first 3 minutes or 5 minutes of the game. Come the second turtle, you're actually a force to be reckoned with.
And come big team fights, you almost undo the doorstop that is the Tams, and you even outlast the Hilda because you drop the glooms, you blow them up with the shadow energy, she hides into the bush, and then next thing you know, she comes out. You can do the same thing again. There's very little that it costs Few to push out 2 or 3 members of SRG.
And a little tech there for that it kind of counters the Julian is that the Julian wants to go all in for marksman, your position for, but it's almost like not a choice at all. It's not like going for the Lilia isn't even part of the choices there for Sakai's because it's not worth it.
It's a waste, honestly.
Yeah, again, because of the black shoes as well. Like, if you don't burst in, I mean, like, Few is probably waiting for that to happen just to press the alt.
Not to mention, he also has free ways to check bushes. Right? So, again, already for 2 games now, prior to this one, Sekais has been playing the Ling. He can come in from any angle. He has a free go at the back line. Now he has to go through bushes, which most likely has a shadow energy or gloom in it. And then he also has to be honest about his engages. Even if he does have a Hilda checking forward or an Angel as a backup for his entry. It's SRG across game 1 and 2 were a step behind.
Either way, can we say that this Lilia pick was absolute genius? It really stopped SRG from doing whatever they wanted to do.
It was. It's the anti-assassin build. At the same time, you have the Minotaur to because you pick up the Lilia, which usually, you know, the mid laners are kind of backed up by roamers. Lilia is very independent. In fact, the Minotaur had Ogwyn had a time of his life in a way that he was able to achieve whatever he needed to achieve because he doesn't have to take care of another hero in the mid lane.
What the Lilia Minotaur brings is a mobile box. The Minotaur defines where the box is, and then the Lilia sets where they can push forward, which is why often in this game we see more than I think the regular game between other teams is the flicker forward Minoan Fury, because you know that the Lilia can follow up. You know that it's more than just a singular CC to maybe push forward or disengage. It's always CC plus extra.
So part of the loss here is it that SRG really fumbled the draft?
I wouldn't say they fumbled. I think that it was just an over investment onto answering the Ling. At the same time, you go for the Hilda. It looked like it worked. I think that it's not about them countering the Ling at all. It's more like they're putting their important players in a spot where they're not able to play their game. Storm is not playing the best game of his life. Yumes I really like him with setup heroes. With your Hilda, you're very honest. No hiding. You're just literally showing everywhere. There's no surprise factor at all.
What's the highlight for the highlight maker if you're a Hilda?
Exactly. No, I agree. But now we got to look at our Sony MVP. And it's going over to Kyle Teasy. So looks like the name of the grand finals is the Ling.
Yep. It's the Ling.
I'm proud of how Kyle has stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
For the 2 years that they've been a team, for the 2 years that they trusted the process, it's very rare that Kyle Teasy is the one on the pedestal.
Yeah.
And here at MSC, here in the grand finals, there's a lot on Kyle Teasy's shoulders, and I'm glad that he's putting the team on his back.
He went the reverse way when it comes to like being the superstar of the team as a jungler, because usually when you're a star jungler, you start as the assassin / damage dealing jungler that you're always about the highlights. He started. He was known because he's assassin plays, but he got famous because of how well he utilized the utility heroes.
That was the meta at the time.
That was the meta. He did his sacrifice. Now it's time to shine.
And honestly, looking at the way Kyle Teasy is playing, it almost like he has multiple ways to carry the game. It doesn't have to be a huge KDA spike, doesn't have to like do any kind of flashy plays, just like you guys said.
Kyle Teasy is playing 4D chess. He has so many moves, so many options, despite there being so many doorstops to his birth into team fights. And that's one of the things that you cannot... Wait, no, what?
18 KDA.
I was going to say, that's one of the things you cannot just find in mechanics. That's beyond mechanics.
Yeah. I gotta say, throughout this best of 7 so far, it looks like SRG, they're playing with a handicap, because every single time, the early game, it always goes over to Falcon's AP brand. And with that being said, yeah, you know, someone has said it. I do say that a lot. Anyways, we're going for a quick break. After this, it's going to be Falcon's AP brand against Lago Red Giants. And welcome back. Just to update the score right now is 2-1. We're 2 going over to Falcons AP brand. SRG only having 1 point. Welcome back. My name is Rafael. Alongside with me is Wolf as well as Leo. As you guys can see, based on today's games, I'm a little bit tongue-tied.
Yeah. Why, I wonder?
Well,
who knows, right?
Who knows?
Am I right, guys? Am I right?
You have the right to feel that way because
thank you.
How stressful, actually. I think that's a perfect word right now. Even
dude, I might start bleeding again.
I think overall for all defense, like Filipinos, Malaysians, very stressful. Even in game number 3, you can argue that there were times where you would think like, okay, this is actually winnable for SRG.
Yeah, they had ins.
Yeah.
But the fundamental problem with the draft and what they came in with kind of bit them in the behind. Much like game 1. Is this not the story of game 1? Yeah. Wherein they're like, oh, whoa. It's greedy, but they're making it work. And then, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Well, now we're jumping back into the draft here. SRG, blue side, Falcons AP brand, red side, betting on that Julian. So it has to be a link bank.
It has to be a link bank. I agree.
Take it away.
Take it away. Like we've seen what happens when Skies doesn't get the link.
Get out of here. He's just too good. Yeah. That is the most respectful way I can say it.
Yeah.
He's just too good.
Yeah. Or open up the Angela, tempt SRG to pick up this Angela once again. And you know what else is actually forced out when you pick up the Ling, as well as the Moskov? If you go Ling Moskov, you're already very greedy, right?
Yeah.
That means that Cram will be forced to a hero that
skills as well.
Yeah,
I mean that's what happened.
Game number 1 they tried for the CC, which almost worked, but then it was still very greedy. Cram is a player that wants to have at least some farm in him, right? Yeah. So picking up the Thams, for example, might not be the best solution. And now if we're looking back at FCAP, it's the complete opposite. Flap TZ doesn't care about farm. He's that hero, is that player that will pick up the Barretts.
He's a Detna's welcome machine, a final slash machine. It just so happened that whenever we see him on the Arlet, he just goes ham. But yeah, he's happy with just that kind of role.
Okay, so what is opened up here? Louis, Moskov,
Valentina. Oh no, it's banned out. Oh no.
It was banned out.
Yeah.
So Angela as well is open.
I don't want Angela, man.
I reckon
want to pick up the Moskov. Yeah, the Moskov is just a very good pick overall. But in this scenario, without the Lingus with the Julian, yes. Hayabusa, but then you also pick up Terizla, I believe. So I think Terizla, it will...
Arlet's open for the first time.
Louis as well. Louis Arlet.
That sounds good.
Arlet. Ooh.
Louis Arlet, and then you wait for the swing, and you pick up the Haya.
Knowing FCAP though, they might just go for
the Riz.
The Riz.
Yeah. So you go Louis Riz?
Louis Riz. Arlet, okay. Yeah. Obviously, why would you pass up on a very good combo when Ling is not available?
Is this Flap whispering in Treb's ears like, let me have it?
Now we got a player quote coming in from the assistant coach, Ozora Vecchi from Selangor Red Giants. Ducky is really smart. Falcons AP brand have strong priority picks and good understanding of the meta. He's the reason Falcons AP brand is able to stay consistent.
Yeah. Okay, they still want to pick up the Louis because I don't like it going up against Arlet overall, and then the Claude also is a problem for the Louis.
By picking up the Louis into the Arlet, you essentially feed yourself to a 5-man final slash.
Oh, I love it.
You don't want that.
I love like it. It's risky. Okay, here's the thing. Wolf, you like it.
I love it.
For me, I feel it's risky.
It's the Fanny. We're talking about the Fanny, folks.
Let's ask the casters. This Fanny pick. Casters, give us your insight.
Here, let me just explain to you. Our reaction to it, well, at least Miracle's reaction was, oh, that's good. And I'm just like, I don't know. I agree with you, LaFell. It is quite risky.
Why is it that us
that's trauma. That's just PTSD from relations, honestly.
But we've gone through a lot.
Yeah. All the more, I think I'm gonna side I'm gonna err on the side of caution because they picked up on a Kyle TZ, you know.
I see what you did there.
Because again, you bring out the big guns when the Fanny comes through for the first time in the series. This is Kyle TZ's first time on a utility this series. So that means they're ready for this. It came out, what, 5 seconds after the pick?
Yeah, definitely the answer. Oh, we're also massive combo with the Arlot. But You know what? I think this is the time where it will be damage dealing hero for Flap. So it will be like dependent on like dealing damage. Like maybe
like a pack.
Like a pack, exactly. Which is
Flap
great versus this Moscow. I think the best hero overall though is Yuzhong with the Petrify. You can actually
hunt for Innocent.
Hunt for Innocent. You can also hunt for the Fanny. So if you're SRG, if you're paying attention, ban the Yuzhong. That's gonna be a problem
What
for
about
you.
Faramis?
A Faramis.
Right? Denying the...
yeah, still no mid laner for
no
FCAP.
mid lane. Yep, there we go. Faramis ban.
I
play MLBB.
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Assassins generally don't like playing up against the Faramis, so...
I understand.
Very good ban. You ban... Tigreal perhaps if you want to double down.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of... All 3 heroes for FCAP are physical, so the Tigreal would be a smart ban here.
Yeah. Innate Kira. Oh, okay, of course. Cover your base.
Oh, they're not going to risk it. They'd rather deal with the implosion.
Yeah.
What does Stormy play here?
What if they...
Aurora?
What if they pick up the Tigreal themselves?
They can on the clapback.
And then Arlott from Flap TZ, just like in M5.
Ooh, just like the other day.
Just like the other day too. So that opens up a lot. Like you already have Implosion, you have the knockup from the Tigreal, they have the Akai with infinite amounts of vengeance juggles here coming out from of the Arlott if ever they do pick up the Tigreal. However, I still feel the Yuzhong needs to be banned here for SRG.
They gotta pick their poison.
It's the Crockett.
They're covering up the roamer choices, I see.
Okay.
I wonder what Yumes wants to play, because again, he's the highlight maker.
Yeah.
Highlight makers, Cho, Ruby, that kind of picks. Lilia picked up again, so Falcons AB Brand, they're gonna have priority. So this is making me feel more worried about the Fanny pick.
Yeah, but maybe a Lolita for Yumes?
Lolita's fine, yeah.
Going up against a Claude, I think...
I don't like the interaction with the Lilia, though. She just tears through you.
What else? Maybe they snatch a Tigreal, I guess.
But the thing is, Falcons AB Brand, they have a lot of ways to survive, right? The Purify from the Lilia as well as the Claude, the Akai with the innate Purify as well.
Disengage, yeah.
So it's kind of like... I can see the Tigreal pick, but I feel like it's gonna get countered so hard.
How about Aurora for SRG?
Yeah.
Looks to be Aurora and then Tigreal. That's a really good combo. It opens up a lot. It's
the Cho. It's the Cho Novaria.
Chovaria.
Okay, now FCAP. They are the ones who's gonna pick up Lolita.
Yeah.
Yargle.
SRG have to fight very specifically, and they have to be proactive.
Good start for SRG, but FCAP, the last two.
They found the answer.
They found the answer. Lilia Lolita.
I refuse to give any opinions.
PTK combo.
My job ends here. Thank you very much to the analysts. Mirko, as well as Gideon. Good luck for this game.
Yeah, we're gonna need some luck on this one because I think that Lolita pick solves a lot of the problems. Single target lockdown, big disengage, big re-engage with the flicker, the shield to say no to Innocent for once.
Also the Lilia with insane mid prio, so they can actually go for the invades a whole lot. Utilize the Arlott, utilize the Akai as well. Try to go for the purple buff for the Fanny, and if Skies doesn't get the purple buff, I think it really looks like for Falcons AP Bren, purple buff number 2, they're gonna start threatening it.
Well, hopefully it's going to be enough here. Again, a lot of factors are coming into play. Whether or not Cram is able to find that priority to contest for it, whether or not we are going to see sick guys make miracles happen once again, this time on an even more dangerous pick for the early game. It's time for game number 4. SRG now on the blue side up against Falcons AP Bren on the red.
It's the battle for match point for Falcons AP Bren. 1 game away from match point for SRG, a bit further on the climb. You know, I was talking about how, all right, on the Novaria, it's a great pick, especially considering this is the first time that we get to see Falcons AP Bren, at least in the knockout stage, on utility back again. So Novaria provides a lot of good poke, and then obviously when the Lolita came up, it's just like, can't believe I forgot about this, right? The pick that was able to send their bitter rivals, Liquid Echo, in the semifinals out. They were able to counter Edith and carry, it was.
Yeah, and I think that the Cho pick is actually a pretty good substitute for it, right? Because again, you're fighting for that mid prio. You are going to take some damage. You need some way to kind of not only defend yourself, but clear that waves effectively. Here we go.
Good damage down. Down Flapteezy goes in still. Flapteezy still able to use the vengeance, but now the swing of the hammer skies with first blood.
Did he forget that Fanny was in play? I don't know. That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird from Flap. He definitely could have like completely disengaged, but let's see if they're gonna get.
Ooh.
No! Another one on top of that.
Great start for Selangor Red Giants. A kill onto Skies, a kill onto Cram. That's XP Prio and Jungle Prio.
I think that honestly solves a lot of the problems we were worried about for SRG. Now the early game is actually somewhat doable this time around. Maybe, I don't know, it could just be like blue side being the ultimate side at this point, right? Is that? I think that's what we're kind of devoting it to.
So far, that has been the case, and now again, Yum's able to clear out the mid lane. Level 4 advantage for Falcons AP Brent, but take a look at Flapteezy. Uncharacteristically, not level 4. At the first turtle, Cram swing a hammer down, Flapteezy down to half. Yum's dealing some damage again as Cram pops in a penalty zone. Calteezy in the midst of it all right now on the neutral objective. We'll be able to find this. Flap gets the shielding. Spear of Destruction. One last shot should do it, but Flap again is able to survive with just 1 HP. Skies on the chain, finds him with the first Flap. Still able to go for a lot of those shots, but the cables are inevitable.
He's mad. Flapteezy's mad. He's like, oh man, maybe Yums just didn't see like the little slight bit of green left on his health. Let's have a look at this one more time. As Skies, again, great call on this one, right? For all we know, Flapteezy, he hits level 4 just in time and tries to sustain through that damage. If he connected with that final slash, that could have bought him at least one more second of time for somebody to find the trade back, especially since Ogwin on this Lolita has single target lockdown with the charge. At this point in time, with Fanny having an EXP lead, that's a great. Wait, now they have Prio over this. Are they going to send the mid lane over to it? No, they're not.
No, it's just back and forth again for SRG. They have this lead, so no real reason to actually force a lot of these fights. And you can get to see that interaction with the Bulwark, sending it back towards the Navaria. But SRG, actually, they're holding out in the mid lane very well, too, when it comes to clear away the Dragon. Locking Oakwood down straight into the Blades of Skies. 3-0.
That was a great idea. This is a great idea. This is why I really liked the Cho pick when we see Yums play. Yes, he wants to make highlights, but at the same time, there's a lot of interesting interactions, and most importantly, he can cancel out Ogun's Numenon Blast early. He can kick him out of position, and the same can be said about Calteezy when we come down to these Lord situations. It's how do we utilize this Way of the Dragon effectively?
Good Black Shoes usage there by Few, able to evade from Skies' damage. But now he's on the purple buff, and Yums will have to buy some space. Stormy in the mid lane as well, trying to clear it out. Trying to get this prio for Skies. Calteezy already jumping onto Yums, trying to find a trade for the purple buff. But Yums is going to be caught, forced to flicker out. Super Marco on the chase, the flicker. No flicker. It's just a few recalls. Innocent with the pin down in the mid lane. What happened? Few got picked off.
I mean, everything is happening all at the same time. He's caught mid-rotation here, and now the penalty zone to look for more.
Oh, Spear of Destruction as well. Now he's going to be Innocent. Caught in the final slash, still able to evade right now, but the Numenon Blast is able to connect. He has the Purify. He baited out the Vengeance straight into the kick. Into another spear from Innocent.
Dude, talk about well-played Innocent there, right? He purposefully delays until he sees the engagement, the vengeance coming in from Flapteezy, hits that Purify so that he's stuck. Once he's on top of that Moskov, he's got nowhere else to dash because it goes on cooldown.
Skies with the cables. Oh! He's able to steal it away again! This time a level ahead.
It's not about the players anymore. It's blue side. It's something about blue side, right? It's sorcery. How is this fair? How is blue side so dominant in this game thus far? I thought the draft coming up for Falcons Apron Brand is honestly not that bad, but considering these early interactions not falling into their favor, looks like SRG really taking advantage of every single bit here, but same like last game, that mid-game spike from Falcons AP Brand. We need to see that happen. So far, Calteezy hasn't been able to create too many opportunities just yet, but that's all due because some people are getting caught off. Other times, you just don't have the battle spells.
Man, I just keep remembering now with this kind of performance on the Assassins versus the Utility, I keep on remembering and recalling that interview with the Malaysian content creator. What is his name? I think it's DJY. He said, go Assassins. Assassins #1, he said.
Assassins is the way to play the game, right? I mean, look at that. He's already got... Oh, my goodness. At least he's building up to a 2K lead onto Calteezy 6 minutes into this game. But that's when we see Falcons AP Brand, right? Their comp really comes online once they start grouping up together.
Okay, Super Marco able to read it out. Has the Purify, but now with the cable, the way the Dragon comes in, comes those skies! Wow!
Are we playing on mouse and keyboard or something? He's literally pointing, clicking, that man must die, and they find it each and every time.
It's a target ability for Skies.
Oh, it is. And it's about to get even worse for the side of Falcons AP Brand if they keep on slipping up on these leads from SRG. And right now, the main attack dog, the initiator, Yums, he's doing so much this game.
Doesn't have the way to Dragon here, but will be able to knock him up. Flap's easy to be knocked out. The penalty's all canceled by the Sun. Kyle TZ caught on the Astral Echo Innocent. Now with the Abyss Walker as well, very low. No pin down with the Spear of Misery. Good cover from Ogwen. But he's forced to recall out. That's a free neutral objective to the Assassin Jungler.
Honestly, not too bad. At least Falcons AP Brand aren't giving anything over to SRG besides the turtle. Oh, penalty zone though. Onto few. Forcing them to use that black shoes. Not that big of a deal. That's just an alt use. It's not like they're going to fight each other anyways, but SRG, I think they want to invade, and they're considering the options. I mean, they've got the Way of the Dragon ready. They could do it, but at the same time, the lack of purple buff from Sakai's means that SRG just have to wait.
You can see the difference in level already. This is why the Assassins have been able to find so much more value in this meta. The clear speed is ridiculous. On top of that, how fast you are, so mobile, you can go and catch a lot of these waves that most utility junglers will have to give up. It's a 2-level lead for Skies, so finally, after 3 games, he finds himself ahead in level against Kyle TZ.
Hey man, similar to SRG, Falcons AP Brand have been known to flip fights over despite having massive losses in the earlier stages of the game. They're great at their timings. Both of these teams have a lot of similarities. Look at Skies, he's again pulling a Falcons AP Brand away from each other, trying to not enable their comp.
These cables from Skies, man. Cramming the mid lane, goes for the penalty zone. Oh, the tenacity on the boots. Gets him out of the heavy spin, he flickers out of it. Meanwhile, down below, Skies!
Man. What? I mean, what can you really say about that, right? It's just unlucky, I guess. I mean, FlapTZ, he's just not, he doesn't have enough stacks. He just got the Thunder Belt as well. He doesn't have enough hybrid defense to survive through it. And even if he does, technically it doesn't matter because Skies has the Malefic Roar. The more hybrid stats, the better it is for me. The more I'll just cut right through it.
Man, Wolf and Leo, they were talking about, FlapTZ on the Arlet. He should be able to do what he did at M5. He should be able to do what he did just 2 days ago. This is an unreal stat, 0-4-0.
Okay, we can't count them out just yet, right? But we know that the game has been accelerated to a point of no return. I think that from both sides, it could be like a quick game for SRG to move on, and Falcons AP Brand will then take blue side. Or if Falcons AP Brand really want to slow this down, we're hoping for some big plays from the initiators. Like, if not for FlapTZ, sure, maybe they can extend and guarantee a fight win, but Ogren and as well as Kyle TZ need to work with some angles here against SRG. And unless Yums is caught slacking with that Shunpo, because right now he's playing mechanically perfect.
This is a big problem, by the way, for Falcons AP Brand.
Even the hand.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Yums recalling, by the way. That's also a problem. It's emotional damage that they are receiving every single tap of the recall. But really for SRG, it's how they're able to utilize the 1-3-1 formation as well. Vanny up top or Moskov up top and then someone else down below. Skies, you blink and you miss that, right? You blink and you die. Super Marco, great reaction time to evade from it. Without the Wind of Nature, he really has to respect Skies' damage. And you can see for Innocent, he's already on to the Lord. Kyle TZ to be chunked down. Penalty zone, locking him down now with the help of Yoji. Kudo left! He misses the final slash. Skies finds it!
Okay, they're just gonna back away at this point, right? SRG don't need to extend the lead. They've already committed, I mean, they got FlapTZ's final slash and the flicker as well. Maybe he's just looking for some sort of redemption in these fights, but it's fine, right? Falcons, they can technically lose their outer tier 1 and 2 in mid. They just need to make sure they high ground defense. Oh god.
Skies now, Skies!
He's out of there. He's out of there.
Oh my goodness!
This kid's insane!
Few now gonna be caught in. Innocent able to take him down. Penalty zone locking him down as well. Meanwhile, Way of the Dragon from Yums. Skies again, looking for the assassination, gets knocked up before he can do anything. But they will be able to take some of these turrets. Base turret up top taken down from SRG. 10-0 up against Falcons AP Brand. Ogwen forced back, forced to flicker out. Still with the Lord. This is the first Lord of the game. And they're looking for an end angle. Skies again with the cables.
Okay, finally I can breathe here. SRG, they've set up checkmate angle, and we haven't seen a checkmate angle in a long time here at the playoffs, right? A 10k gold lead for the side of SRG, a missing inhibitor from the side of Falcons AP Brand. On this next lore take, Falcons AP Brand really need to discuss how they're going to approach this. Yes, they have zone control, but so far, SRG, now that the lore dance is more of a tango than it is a waltz, this push and pull is not in Falcon AP Brand's favor.
Not at all. It really feels like they're just so far behind, and it is because they are far behind. Super Marco, super far behind, doesn't have the win of nature just yet. So even when he gets that win of nature, Stormy is going to be a constant threat. Remember, the Astral Echo straight into the almost unmissable Astral Spheres. He's going to have to build double time.
Yep.
Win of nature, Rose Gold, and he's going to have to do it quick, because this snowball is getting out of control.
Yeah, it doesn't help the fact that even if we want to see Super Marco to go for the cleanup, Innocent can almost guarantee deal with him 1v1 because he already has the Winds of Nature in his backpack. With 6 kills on the span, 3 kills on Moskov, and 1 on Terizla, SRG are in prime position. Now, I think from SRG's side, the difference between this game and the previous is the fact that they were very honest. But now that they have mechanical heroes that really show the skill expression micro-wise, it's really forcing Falcons AP Brand to take their time, right? Their slow approach has costed them a lot, but right now SRG refusing to make too many mistakes.
Not at all. No mistakes, it seems, right now. Good bulwark there to send it back. Graham taking a whole lot of damage, half HP. Skies again threatening some of these resources. Perhaps Innocent going to be able to go for the invade. Caltese secures the purple buff, so not losing too much here. But again, Falcons AP Brand, a big problem that they're going to have to face is the fact that the base turret up top in the far lane has been taken down. And SRG were already winning out early with the 1-3-1. Caltese got pinned down. Oakland got baited in towards the jump. Now flickers back, penalty zone. Cram able to find 3 to now blast canceled out by the penalty zone. Innocent in the back, finding the spear of destruction. Meanwhile though, Super Marco gets the blazing duet. Flapteezy absolutely melted down, but they are able to find a trade. Innocent very low, still able to kite back now with Purify as well. Going back and forth, the bulwark. Trading it back, almost bouncing it away. Skies again, trying to go for the assassination. Will be able to escape with the shielding. A good shot down onto Oakland. It was all just 1 for 1.
No purple buff diff, and oh my god, Oakland made that work. No, they wouldn't. They can't, right?
2 seconds on Kyle, 1 second on Kyle on that retribution. Now both up. Yums looking for the play, now going to be taken very low. Still has a way to Dragon Skies on it. That's retribution. Kyle Taze steals it away, recovers it for Falcons AP Brennis. Yums gets gunned down by Super Marco, who's going to go for more, but Innocent again with a spear. Now into the back, but it gets no back. Oakland! The master at work!
A double kill. You know what? Let's give it to him. Innocent getting a triple kill. One being himself. Dying to the bulwark. Oakland 2 times in a row may have just saved them from the checkmate angle on top of a steal from Kyle Teasy. They out-sustained, and the final slash onto Graham. They get this. Well done.
Good displacement. Cram has the penalty zone, decides to use it onto Few. With a few hammer swings, almost gonna get the trade right now, but gets stunned down. That's another stun into the Vengeance, into the Blooms. But at the bottom lane, SRG are still able to get rid of the Lord.
Look at this, right? Everybody gets chunked out super low. Like, Innocent wants to stay healthy here, but he's getting chunked out as Few walks forward. Those black shoes really making it annoying. He can take as much damage here as he wants to, take the black shoes back, and now he's basically at full health. And then the steal coming in from Kyle, because the guys couldn't get the reset. What can you really do about that? And you can tell, even backstage, the rest of the members of Falcons AP Brand, they're loving it. And Yum's probably laughing at his fellow counterpart Golden Laner.
I mean, that's an interaction that everybody wants to see in their ranked games, you know? Like the Moskov killing himself against the Guardian's bulwark. It's not fun as the Moskov, trust me. It's not at all.
Just wait for the Star Shatter.
If that actually happens, if you get sniped down by yourself, technically, that'll be the only interaction that tops the Moskov kill, right? Okay. Good pin down. And it's not the Super Marco. He's able to react in time, but he does save the Purify. Man, the patience on Marco.
It's crazy. It's really crazy because now it's come to a point where Falcons AP Brand, even if Ogwin gets kicked out of the way, Few can start walking up and get free damage. And more importantly, Kyle TC is now tanky enough to actually push them out of the way. Oh, man, Cram is Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting that much damage to be being pumped out by Super Marco.
Me neither. Skies trying to bait out a few of these abilities. Super Marco in the back already using the Purify right now. As Crab's going to be pinned down as he goes for the penalty zone. Skies are going to play. Missing the cables, getting stunned up. Still able to get the shielding. Now onto Few, gets the cutthroat. Unable to find for anything else. Few looking for the chase, but Cram is, oh, there you go. It almost hit. Maybe that could have been the one.
No, I don't think he would have died just yet, but at this point in time, it just goes to show they've hit their power spikes. They've finally passed the mid-game into the later stages of the game. They're eventually going to outscale Slango Red Giants in these super prolonged fights. Every time that Guardian Bulwark comes up, SRG has to completely avoid Ogwyn. And now, let's have a look at the items so far, because now I'm finally seeing somebody building some magic resist.
We got that Radiant Armor coming in from Cram, but that's the reason he hasn't really been able to soak in as much damage as possible up against Super Marco. Even with the Queen's Wings, he's still getting shredded down. So maybe go, I don't know, at this point, what does he want to go for, right? Like, do you want to go Blade Armor to try to at least push that damage back onto Marco whenever he does go for a shred? Oh, no, you hate to see it. You hate to see it, guys. He's been perfect all game. He's 6-0. But it happens to everyone. It's not just you in a ranked game, buddy mans. All you Fanny players, it's not just you.
It happens to the best of us, even to the Prince of the Skies. Oh my goodness. All right, regardless, right, it doesn't mean too much at the end of the day, right? There's a good chance that Super Marco probably might have been able to survive that situation, but here comes the Astro Echo to reveal everybody.
Good shot. He's actually half HP, is able to sustain back up with the DHS and that QC. Back to the Lord now. Gonna be choked down. Skies in the back line trying to go for a flank angle. Crab taking a whole lot of punishment.
Oh, this is so interesting. This is so very interesting. Because now they find the angle.
Way the dragon, but it's not going to be baited in. Penalty zone lock them down. They're going to blast as well. That's to be Few very low still with the help of the damage. Super Marco blazing duet. With the Purify too, he's chasing onto Stormy, waiting in the back, going back innocent now, finding the kill on the Baptiste. As Super Marco gets taken out, SRG are winning the fight. It's Ogwyn who's standing in the middle, all alone, the sole member. It's a roamer and he can't do anything, not against Cram.
And that is it. That's game. That's game number 4. 2-2 here from both of these teams. Well done. This is gonna go the full series here. I can just feel it down in my bones. Hey, wow. You can see that Stormy, he's positioning in a way so that Ogwyn is forced to walk and try to cut off as many angles as possible from that Star Shatter, and that opens the backline entirely when Skies is jumping in, especially when he's targeting some of the members like Few, for an example, and forcing everybody to swing to his side of the map in towards that mid lane. I'm surprised that Stormy got away with what he did just now at a sliver of his health.
Really well played. These chaotic team fights really unfolding and being in favor of SRG. The fact that they were always able to find these ridiculous team fights. Those angles were ridiculous. Stormy, he was alone. He was playing like the Fanny, looking for flanks, shooting them from off angles. And it really made Falcon's AP Brand think about all these different angles to a point where they completely forgot about the direct engage from Cram, from Yums.
I think it also comes down to just conditioning, right? Every single time Stormy shoots it, he's always making sure, hey, I'll do it off a cooldown. With that being said, analysts, please take it away.
We have a series now. It's 2-2. So what? This is now a best of 3. The first guy that wins 2 more games wins it all.
And it's mainly because we are now looking at a comfortable Yums and a comfortable Stormy, and of course a comfortable Cram. And you can see them laughing even when they just literally lost a team fight that could have gone really badly for them. They were still laughing. It's because they are comfortable in their own skin. We are seeing like Sakai is just, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar about your games. Guys, what a beast with a Fanny. However, yeah, Yums with a choke, you know that it's you know that he is making all of the plays that's necessary for his team. I believe that the Terizla is such a great pick for Cram because it just fits perfectly what he wants to achieve as a player. So I think this should be the hero configuration,
like the priority.
SRG. Exactly.
How perfect is it that we go full circle? You start off saying, shut down Flap. Flap is one of the catalysts for FCAP success, and they did so in the first 2 minutes of the game. They put Flap on what, 0-3?
0-4 at a certain point.
Right?
Look at this, look at this.
This is,
and
yeah.
to some level, even Few couldn't play. Even Few from mid on that Lilia with the Purify, with the Black Shoes, couldn't survive our SRG's aggression. This is FCAP bullied into a corner. Even if they did have a comeback angle in the late game, it was just too little too late.
Yeah, I think it. Now that you're gonna be thinking like, surely the Akai works a lot, but I think that FCAP, they're the ones that aren't comfortable in their own skin. I think they really want to play forward. They want to make sure that they have this claw to go to the late game. However, it wasn't enough in the end. Yums was phenomenal with the Cho. I believe the way that he spaced out in the early stages, and I think it was the Fanny was indeed the problem here.
Can I say I'm impressed by how the players are looking so calm and so composed because let's see here. My heart rate is 111. I don't know how they can take it.
I remember back in M5 when there was an actual notification.
Yeah, I had a notification. It's like, bro, your heart too fast. Calm down.
You gotta relax. You gotta relax.
Last time that happened, they went 7.
Oh yeah. It could go all the way because right now they're trading blows. And like our caster said, both teams like blue.
Yep, so far blue side because you get the Ling, you force your opponents to react towards you, and in this case it's going to be the Fanny, so there will be a little bit of a change up for sure. I think that Falcon's AP Bren might want to consider getting to the blue side once again, and I think the main reason why is because of the presence of the chip. It's like a
auto ban.
It's an auto ban.
You have 2 bans.
Yeah, a mandatory ban, I would say. So that really opened up this Fanny because the Ling was already banned out, and then they had to be forced to pick up the Fanny. You know?
Yeah. Despite the pick advantage that I'd argue FCAP had, right? Especially in that last phase when they got the Lolita finally, and then the Lilia going up against a Cho and a Novaria.
Yeah.
The play was just what put SRG over. Constant aggression, timing out wherein you're expecting to be able to hold in. Like in the early game in the XP lane, SRG said, "Nuh-uh, FCAP, you ain't playing."
I like how they dealt with it. It's like, okay, let's ignore mid lane because we are not gonna win mid lane anyways. Let's just farm. I'll clear the waves from Novaria. I'll pop second skill and first skill. I'm gonna be okay. I'll just get out of there, and then come the mid game, I'm very strong. Fanny did the heavy lifting in the early stages of the game.
Speaking of which, that's our Sony MVP. We gotta check out Sakai's on this Ling. I mean, at this point, like, if they win it all, this is, I would say, a good contender for MVP of the grand finals.
Fanny. Playing the Fanny.
Yeah.
Yep. Sakai's the limit, as we've mentioned. I think in the it was part of the first 2 kills. I'll be honest, guys. I went to the comfort room, and then when I get back, it's a 2-0 already for the Fanny.
What happened?
What happened?
It was a 6-0 even, as bad as that.
Yeah.
Like a few minutes later.
I was very fast.
It takes a very special kind of jungler, a very special kind of assassin player to do what Sekais did here.
Yeah.
He looked at the knob for aggression and turned it up to 11.
Can we talk about his retribution as well? I mean, like, it wasn't really on display for this game. I mean, like, he was able to steal that one, but a lot of steals, even from yesterday, coming in from Skies.
And that's most important. And look at this. They already know that they can initiate. I think Super Marco popped the Purify way too late. Could have gotten out of that, but yeah.
He looks stone cold.
He looks focused.
I think for Yums, he is it is more rewarding for him to be overly aggressive, and that even when he doesn't have like immediate heroes around him as his teammates, there's always that Fanny factor that is gonna be counted as almost a global hero at that point, especially when you're dominating like that. And it kind of allowed Yums to be to have easy decisions to actually go for initiations.
Yeah, I think that's another key to SRG's success. If you want to keep him winning, number one, put him on heroes that they're comfortable with, or wherein the roles that they're fulfilling are roles that allow for them to get their game plan online.
Yeah.
Second is maybe we're of the mindset that macro is the only way to win. With SRG entering the grand finals picture, maybe actually just team fighting up until your opponent can't out macro you anymore is a valid strat.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened here.
No, legit, I agree. I'm a big fan of team fighting here. But for now, we have a special bit here where Eterna and Wheezy are talking to the founders of the team. So let's check it out.
Hi guys, it's Eterna here backstage at MSC 2024 with the founder AP as well as the director Jab from Falcons AP brand.
And Steph Weezy here, joined beside me. I have Simon, the co-founder for the Selangor Red Giants, and I also have Nishi, the team manager. Now, we've got some questions for you guys. The Esports World Cup is an event with multiple game titles all across the globe, and MSC 2024 for Mobile Legends Bang Bang being one of them. How does that make you feel about MLBB being a part of this event?
I feel very grateful that Esports World Cup actually recognized MLBB and take them in part of the discipline in the Esports World Cup. So it's fantastic. It's very good for the ecosystem for Mobile Legends community in whole globally.
So we're gonna throw the exact same question. Did you guys hear it from Weezy? Okay, we're gonna start with you, AP. What do you think about MSC this year?
It's very excited because this is the first EWC. We want to show to the whole world that the AP brand, Falcons AP brand, will still the #1 MLBB in the whole world.
I mean, it's looking like it right now, obviously. But you guys have heard the chants. You guys have heard the support for Falcons AP brand, and you're not even in your home country. By the way, what do you guys think? How do you feel to be celebrated at this magnitude? We'll start with you, Jen.
We really appreciate all the fans that came in, even our countrymen just visited from far away and just flew in to Riyadh just to support our team. Even the locals, we really like the attention and all the cheering, all that. I think you can hear it too. So we're very, very appreciative of all that.
Now, Nishi, I'm going to extend you the same question. How does it feel to be celebrated on this magnitude? And also, in addition, what message would you have to give out there to the fans supporting the Selangor Red Giants?
Yeah, first and foremost, I feel very grateful that there are some of our players' family that come to here, support us, and also the Malaysian around Saudi Arabia that come today for us. And also, not to forget, our fans from Malaysia and our SRG fans at Malaysia. All right, thank you.
So you guys, we don't want to hold you guys too long. I know you guys are just as nervous as we are. So we had final statements for Falcons AP brand, especially the audience who really came through today, and especially for those of them who are watching online. AP, do you have a message to them?
Thank you to all the Filipino fans and the fans of Falcons AP brand. And I hope that it will be a good match, and I congratulate the SRG as our grand finalist here in EWC. Yeah.
All right, that's it from us, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to send it back to the studio.
No final words from Simon? I mean,
I think there's Serumpun.
I mean, okay, I would like to hear some words from him. But you know what? MLBB, let it be a mainstay here at EWC. I mean, like, it's been great so far, hasn't it?
Long live MLBB.
Long live MLBB. We're only a few seconds away from entering the draft. Right now, it's a 2-2. So at this point, it's a best of 5. The first team to win 2 games is going to win it all. So again, it's just reset over reset. 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Yep. What if it's like 3-2, 3-3? Good. It's going to be insane.
I think that's key for FCAP right now. They are in a, I'd say, unfamiliar territory, but that's not true given that they did suffer a 4-0 loss in the grand finals. They did not get a chance to reset there. Now I think the reset is all the more important.
Hey.
It's clear that the picks have to be adjusted for. Here it is again. But also, you have to recall that the tempo has changed.
Yeah, and I also want to say, and I hate that I only remember this now. The grand finals for Falcons AP brand, or when they were brand in M2 and then in M5, they all went 7 games, so they all went the distance.
Are we cutting through multiple timelines now?
Yeah.
Are we throwing back to 3 years ago and to 6 months ago?
Let me just say, 3 years ago feels like yesterday.
Across 3 different parts of the world: Singapore, the Philippines, Riyadh.
Yeah. I think, I'll be happy to be,
take all the best parts of that.
Yeah.
Inject a new superpower in MLBB. I mean, revitalize Malaysian MLBB.
It's the new landscape, right? It's the new competitive landscape. But again, we're jumping into the draft here. I believe even before we see the pick and bans, whoever has blue side has this innate advantage. Like when you have teams that are more or less equal in strength, whoever has the priority just has a little bit more advantage.
Is this Project Next in MLBB esports?
Project
Yeah.
Next Project Forward. Maybe that's the new one, Project Forward.
Project Next.
Hey, I think this is the only way to go, right? Forward. For years now, we've played in a macro-centric metagame. We've played wherein trading and cross-map plays matter. With SRG here at the grandest stage of them all, I'm glad to see that, hey, team fighting, skirmishes, and getting kill after kill after kill
Yeah.
is what pays off.
Just to update, looks like the bans have started. Falcons AP brand has banned out Angela, Teresa, and Moskov. Looks like they are going to be on blue side first pick. SRG is going to be red side second pick. SRG banned out the Chip, the Julian, as well as the Ling. Falcons AP brand and SRG. Probably Roger first pick.
Harith and Roger are both open.
Roger
it's gonna
first
be
pick.
the Roger first pick for FCAP, and that means
Does SRG go Fanny?
What about the Harith, right?
Fanny Harith. Yeah, that works.
Harith Valen?
I think
Nobody-
I love the idea of the Fanny. Actually,
Nobody cares about Loyi anymore, man.
Yeah.
Louis is so last week.
Loyi is so 3 days ago.
Yeah, Louis is so 3 days ago.
Yeah.
People move on, man. Like it's a fast-paced game. You gotta adapt to the meta.
I like the odds for. I really like the odds for the Fanny. I would be very happy to see another Sekai's Fanny.
Valentina Harith.
Okay, Harith and Valentina. Very strong combo, obviously.
Pick up the Terizla at this point, right?
Yes.
Pick up the Terizla for Falcons AP brand. Denying it away from Cram.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Terizla is banned.
Oh, Terizla's
banned.
Okay, so this is
pick up a Farsa.
so difficult to kind of think there. Do you want to go Farsa against Valentina? Yes, 100%. Apart from that, you pick up Arlet. Arlet is open, right?
Yep.
It's open.
But Roger Arlet not. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Or you can go crazy and just pick up a Claude and then put the Roger in jungle.
Or a Moskov.
early?
Oh, the
Moskov
Moskov
ban. Wait, they pick up the Fanny?
And the Phobius!
Fanny Phobius?
That's why I really thought that the Fanny should have been picked
Hayabusa.
by SRG. Do they? So they answer the Fanny with the Hayabusa? Is that how it is?
If you don't pick it up, it's gonna get banned.
Yeah.
Unless you have something like a Hellcrit in mind.
Yeah, well,
or Saber.
Again, this is Phobius that they're facing, so you need physical damage too to match up against this Fanny.
Wow, Kyle wants to show up his Fanny as well.
I think, are you forced to go Alpha this time on? Yeah.
What about Boxia? It's Alpha. There you go.
Yeah, you're forced to. You're really
okay. I'm gonna take the casters here. This is quite the loop here. What do you guys think of the opener for both teams? Falcons AP brand, they pick up the Fanny. SRG have to respond with the Alpha.
I'm not gonna lie to you, LaFell. I had a sneaking suspicion. Nobody just lets Harith go for free, but at the same time, the Alpha on top of it all, it's a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I think, last game when I saw the Fanny for SRG, I was like, all right, great. But the Alpha, not doing me the same, not giving me the same feelings, definitely, especially considering the Phobius. He's gonna get so many procs. Luckily, I would say that the Valentina technically can steal away that ultimate, so there's a good response there at least.
Well, the Barats gets banned out, so that's kind of good. Like, I feel like if they're able to do something to flap TZ, like, that might be a way for them to win this one on the red side.
For those who are a little bit confused, yes, it's usually few that handles the Phobius, so this is going to be a mid lane Phobius.
I don't foresee this being in Flap's hands.
Yeah.
You still need a solid, I'd say, hunker down type of hero in Flap's hands if this is the first 3 picks for FCAP.
Yeah. I wonder if SRG are considering getting the Esmeralda for... but that means that they will be so focused on magic damage.
It's so reactive.
Yes.
It's again, the story of the Hilda all over again.
Yeah. What I do want to see is Uranus for SRG. However, I believe that the best option here, honestly, for SRG is to pick up a Yuzhong. Lapu Lapu seems an okay pick, but I think the Yuzhong just...
Wait, what about a Grok here? Grok or Cho?
Cho is great overall for SRG.
I'm not so sure if this single-handedly blocks out the Ruby, because Ruby will also proc the Phoveus.
Yeah, that's true.
Might even go into the hands of Ogwin.
Might just go Tigreal at this point.
Tattoo's still open here.
SRG.
You also don't want to Cho, one of Yum's favorite.
Yeah. Or, what if this is the game that they pick up Hilda? The Malaysian react.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that's... Like for those who don't know, actually, we cannot see Lafell right now, like our line of sight. Yep, that's the Tigreal. Makes a lot of sense.
Good against the Fanny early, good against the Roger.
Thank goodness. I mean, okay, Gideon, what would you react if they pick up the Hilda?
If they pick I saw his reaction. He was shaking his head already. He was smiling uncomfortably. You called it, Wolf. It was the Malaysian reaction is not good to that Hilda.
I was about to drive my fist through a wall if that was going to be the case.
Yeah. Okay, we're looking for XP lane, or maybe a FAMS perhaps for Mr. Flap. Yeah, or they pick up the Yuzhong actually, so they move forward.
But the Valentina is there too, so it's a bit of a risk. Like it's a good pick, but you know they are risk. Maybe even like Lapu or something.
Okay, Edith and Tams as predicted. Okay, now you're left with the Cram Hero, right?
Yep.
Ah, that's this. I think you're stuck with the Borg.
I'm okay with the Borg.
Or if you wanna be risky, go for the CC.
I think the Borg is best. You're gonna need all the extra health you can get.
All right, they pick up the Borg indeed.
Perfect.
Got him.
Thank you very much, analysts. You guys are doing an amazing job in the drafting phase. Speaking of which, casters, you guys are doing an amazing job casting this game. So why don't you guys do that?
Thanks for allowing us to do our jobs, Lafell. The match is about to commence. The points dead even, 2-2 in a best of 5. Well, game 5 in a matter of fact, best of 7. Oh my. I don't know. I'm flabbergasted with this. I don't think anybody was expecting Malaysia to have a performance like this against the Filipino representatives of FCAP nonetheless.
It goes to show you the right side of the bracket that most people said was an easy bracket. How easy was that bracket if this is the grand finals we get to witness?
I don't know, but if SRG is able to take it all the way, it begs the question about all their competitors before them. But it's time as we head into the land of dawn to prove the theory whether blue side is going to maintain its 100% win rate here in the grand finals with Falcons AP Bread up on blue, SRG up on red.
Let's take a look at this composition, right? The Alpha. I think it's going to be very, very good, especially in the early game. It's really all going to come down to how they can shut down the Fanny. I think it's a similar vision for SRG that Falcons AP Brand had in the previous game, which was go and invade purple buff number 2. Try to just take the purple buff away from the Fanny. And that's what Athamas does, find a lot of pressure here. But honestly, when it comes towards, you know, the later stage of the game, I don't know how the Samus will play out against, you know, the Harris, the Alphas, where they're going to be able to actually kind of burst him down. And the Vengeance won't really have the same effect as it did for Falcons AP Brand like it did back in game number 2 for SRG.
No, I can agree with the sentiment here, but I think, you know, especially when you do have the Thamas, it kind of opts to tell you, like, I want to have some form of control and dueling power. Oh, God.
And this is it. The Spear of Alpha straight into under the turret skies finds first blood again. Kaltizi, though, looking for the trade back. Cram under turret, able to flicker out. Skies in the bush. And Kaltizi will be able to escape for now. Earth Shatter, flicker onward. Combo together. Kyle gets the response.
They should have been a little bit more decisive on that one. Do you back away or do you just hold your recall? I mean, you're basically dead anyways, but at least they got the flicker out of Ogwin. It's 1-1 in terms of kill score. Everybody's just fighting back for that lead, but this allows Flapteezy to actually try and recover in his lane. He's going to freeze it right underneath his turret, and that's just great for him because as soon as he hits level 4, he's going to be a problem.
Now for Falcons AP Bren, that level 4 power spike is going to be massive as well, by the way.
Huge.
Few, Demonic Force is all he needs. Technically for Ogwin as well with the Primal Wrath, and it will create a position or a situation where it's going to be very hard for Stormy. Does he steal the Primal Wrath? Does he steal the Demonic Force? Well, that's your answer. He goes for the Primal Wrath over the Demonic Force. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think for now, especially in the earlier stages of the game, there's taking the Demonic Force, especially, the only person you can really punish is Kyle TZ, right? But even then, these cables are really good. They can cover a lot of distance at a time, and even pulling yourself away from the Demonic Force in a lot of these cases, right? So I think that taking the Primal Wrath is going to be the most optimal. It's good, it's versatile, it keeps you alive in a lot of situations as well. But in the meantime, I'm curious about the status of Innocent dealing with Super Marco. Let's have a quick look at how the state of the lane is going, because I'm guessing that both of these gold laners, they are going to play a little more passively. Oh!
Flicker Implosion, good one by Yum, straight into the shove. Cram holding on to the last Insanity. Primal Wrath used up, and now it's the last Insanity to blow him up in the back line. Kaltizi finding the trade, and it's going to be 1-for-1 right now. XP traded for Rome. Flap TZ. No vengeance on him. Good Terrify from Stormy. Forcing out a Demonic Force from Few. And just like that, SRG, they're playing their cards really, really well. Now with the cooldown on the Demonic Force, no resets, they should be able to take the turtle for free.
We do see the hand cams from these players. They're trying to increase their APM here, right? They're going in and out of their shop just to make sure that their fingers are warm for when the situation calls for it. Let's see. This turtle is going to be important for both sides here, and ideally, SRG wants to stall it out.
Again with the Earth Shadow, Kaltizi into the back line with Flap. TZ Sky is going to be bursted down by Kyle. Picks up the killing spree straight into the turtle. That's free. But it's for Falcon's AP Bren. Cram trying to kite away. Faraga armor down. Kaltizi's looking for the assassination, but Cram was able to flicker out and space himself out properly.
And what am I telling you, all right? That's why you have Thomas on your side. You're able to kind of buy just a little bit of time, but most importantly, your damage is so applicable. If you win any single one of your trades in these side lanes, then you start calling the attack dog, Kyle TZ, to start finishing up these kills for you, similar to how SRG did it, except with Yums.
Slowly but surely for Falcons AP Brand, that's always been the way they take their games, at least the winning games, right? It's all about building the gold lead very steadily, utilizing the macro advantage, and then suddenly going for a big team fight with that power spike hitting.
Well, regardless, at this point, I think that even between Kyle TZ and as well as Sakai, if we look at the gold in favor of Kyle TZ, a slight EXP lead for Sakai, and that's going to change very quickly since there's plenty of camps up still left for Kyle.
By the way, I didn't really notice this at the start of the game, but it fused on Brave Smite on the Phoveus. So I would say it's an interesting emblem to take, right? Because usually you would maybe want to go for Impure Rage, try to get more mana, stuff like that, all about sustain. Kaltizi wants to go for the assassination, though, finds it in the bottom lane. Xborg, usually you can sustain, usually you can get out, but Flap TZ's just munching on that Faraga armor.
I mean, when you get ganked 3 times like that, you know, how many times has he been canceled a recall? How many times has he had to sacrifice himself and trade down against Falcon's AP Brand? And to answer your question, why Few decided to go for Brave Smite is because he bought first item Gleaming Gem, right? Every single time he gets a level, he's going to be able to get some mana as well as HP. Speaking of which, Ogwen.
Good shove down. Ogwen forced to use the Primal Wrath. Oh, baits out the implosion too.
Oh no. Is this a dive angle? They know that Harith doesn't have the Zaman Force.
For now, not yet.
I think, all right, at this point of time, right, if we are really thinking hard about this, I think that Falcon's AP Brand are in a much better position than SRG. They know that a majority of the ults are down, so whoever's low, quickly reset, come back. We need to do this fight. We need to potentially have a fight, but at the very least, blitz down this turtle.
You can see Flap's damage there, zoning Yums away. And you can see for Selangor Red Giants, they know that there is no way they can contest for this turtle, not with their HP bars. And they'll decide to back away. Just deja vu to game 1, game 2, where they had to come back in the game. Innocent gonna be engaged on, forcing the Zaman Force out. But Innocent is able to space out in a way where you can't really go for the chase. It'll be too greedy to do so. Cram in the mid lane, just poking Ogwen down.
Well, they're gonna take their time with the skin. FCAP, they've been like slowing things down a lot. Ooh, Thunderbelt first item coming in from Flap TZ just to make sure that it's like, oh no, I'm not trying to War Axe, I'm trying to get real tanky so that at least even in the late game, I have some form of relevance there. Now he's opting to build a War Axe. He's going to take some time with this, right? At the end of the day, the most important ones are the insurance policies, and that's going to be in their gold laners. I'm seeing Super Marco and as well as Innocent both contesting pretty heavily, but it's going to be Super Marco who has the lead for now.
Sky's there, Spear of Alpha, able to catch him, but Kyle still has the energy, has the purple buff to escape. We got a game fact, but hold up, Flap TZ going in, forcing Yums to shove back.
Well, game fact here. We were always talking about blue side being the heavily favored side. Wait, no, they're fine. Okay, blue side being the heavily favored side. But honestly, in this grand finals, 100%. But overall, 60.44% win rate overall in 91 games, and that's a lot of data that we're working with. It just goes to show, man. If Falcons AP Brent win, it's to be expected.
It's the pattern of even the MPO regions. Blue side has just been such a dominant force, and I guess with the patch, even more so. Flapteezy and Ogwin, though, again, really trying to control the enemy jungle. Flapteezy is trying to maybe even invade some of the creeps here. Cram, going for the poke. Ogwin able to onward defensively. Falcons AP Brent know better than to go for the fight. They know that they have an advantage now with the Fanny to clear out the side waves, to actually shove it and force SRG to lose some XP and gold.
I totally agree with you here. I mean, look at how shoved up the waves down on that bottom side, right? And at this point, Falcons AP Brent can keep on doing this. Keep stretching Selangor Red Giants, start taking away their tier 1s, but most importantly, with the attention being pulled elsewhere, this purple buff for Kyle TZ is always free. It's not being taken away from him just yet.
Ooh, Cram! Faraga armor completely demolished there. The shove back, Flapteezy still with a vengeance. And now it's going to be Kalteezy jumping to the back line. Stormy trying to go for the Terrify, gets absolutely obliterated. Few in the midst of it all, still able to get the demonic force, but Cram melts him down with the fire.
Oh, for now, good peel, but at the same time, they are still trading 1-for-1. We haven't seen a positive trade from Selangor Red Giants in the past 8 minutes or so. And until we do see that trade happen, I think that, you know, they're going to take their time once again. The scaling on Innocent especially, they need him to have that Holy Crystal have some relevant damage in this game. Because so far, Kyle TZ, he's having the time of his life, right? He's playing a completely separate game while SRG are scrambling to figure out how we close down on this 4K deficit.
It's going to be very, very hard for SRG, but really it's all about... I feel like in this game it's a bit different too, right? Because in game 1, game 2, the games that they were able to come back despite losing out in the early game, they had a composition that does well in the mid game. Meanwhile here with the Harith, you're not forced to get the early lead, but it'll be better. It'll be optimal for you to have that early lead, to build your own snowball. And if we do get to the later stage, Falcons AP Brent, they have a marksman. They still have a lot of these skirmish heavy heroes that are pretty good in the late game too, man. I mean, even Flapteezy, his build on the Thamus, he can take as much damage as he can deal.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind poking, right? Because that just helps him stack up that hybrid defense regardless. And you can definitely see the difference between the two because, unfortunately, Thamus is taking a lot less damage than Cram despite the 2-level lead, right? And more importantly, it feels like Stormy is having the hardest of times. Because what ultimate do you take at this point in time? Exactly. Even if you take the Demonic Force, there's not many people who proc it.
Oh, Kyle trying to go for the assassination onto Stormy. Stormy's still able to displace himself very well there. And SRG, now with the conceal Yums. Looking for a play. Knows Flapteezy doesn't have a Purify, but doesn't want to go for it just yet. View, Demonic Force into the midst of it all. It's a 2v5 right now. And now it's going to be Kalteezy looking for the backline. Primal Rather Yums finds the implosion on the 2 members straight into Innocent. Now with the Demonic Force, but he's going to be changed CC, still surviving. Cram finds a double. Ogwin going to be slashed by Skies. Somehow, some way, the Red Giants always find a way.
Oh my goodness. They catch 3 there. And just a sliver of health from Yums as well. Those important calls from the side of SRG is what's really defining them as why they are a threat to Falcons AP Brent. Great implosion coming in from the side of Yums. Innocent, he did... I would have liked him to use that Purify just slightly earlier, but let's look at the replay here, because when it does happen, right, Few initiates. His objective is to chunk out as many people as possible. Sakai's, he probably could have held his ground just a wee bit longer, but wasn't expecting Yums to get so much there. Because Super Marco, at the end of the day, is waiting to finish off all the low members, and that's the main win con here for FCAP.
Slowly but surely, now it's SRG's turn to take it slow. They got the Lord. No real reason to go for the fights now. They can start going for the turrets. And we were talking about how for SRG, it would be great if they can somehow build their own snowball. And it happened right as their window opened. That was their power spike. Innocent getting into the mid-game, 10-minute mark. And now with the Lord in the mid lane, they're starting to get some structures down as well. Yums to the flank. The conceal spotted by Ogwin. Primal Rat stolen away. Falcons AP Brent's got to respect this. Marco dealing some damage onto the Faraga armor. Now the Holy Defense going to be procced in the mid lane. No, they keep it alive. So far for SRG, they've only managed to take mid and top, and they're actually going to lose a tier 2 down below.
Kyle Teasy this entire time just headed down to the bottom side. He knew that he's basically going to be useless if he has to take a traditional front-to-back against SRG. So he opts to take the on the opposite side of the map. At least his team doesn't have to worry about that side. Super Marco with the GDS already just knows he's going to get attacked, he's going to purify, he's going to transform, and just walk away and maybe look for a re-engage down the line. But most importantly here, I think that SRG, especially for Sick Guys, for him to start the fight is a bold claim. I think that Falcons AP Bren, they want SRG to find these big engages more often than not so they can initiate, right? It's really that implosion that they're worried about. They don't want to repeat the same mistake twice.
Great cross-map plays here by Falcons AP Bren, able to find another tier 2 turret. And these are small wins. It won't win you the game instantly, but slowly but surely, just with the tempo shifting, and with Falcons AP Bren having so much more prio on the map later on, especially considering, you know, they can shove a bit deeper, they can start invading, they can start looking for these angles that the composition will definitely find a lot of value with, right? If they are able to attack from different angles, force SRG into a non-front-to-back, it'll be great for them. Spear of Alpha onto Ogwin, straight with the fire to Ogwin, force a flicker with the Primal Rat, now Cram! Last Insanity, straight to the skies, and now it's gonna be Cram still kiting away, Few with the Demonic Force, now with the Vengeance as well, but he gets bursted down. Now Kyle looking for some more damage, Few jumping around but gets caught by the Spear. Skies on a killing spree, Marco keeps on going, finds a double, the turn to tides around, Innocent in the midst of it all, looking for the play. Crown has the Faraga armor back up. Super Marco forced to run away.
And that's the GDS diff. That is the GDS diff. Clean them up, Kyle. Fight. Oh, he doesn't spot him. Crab. Oh, no, he walks out. He's trying to do it all over again. He ends up giving a Crab. Lost his cool at the very end, dude. He had no idea. But yes, the GDS difference there. Gets the Faraga armor, uses the last Insanity, kites away from it. And even Innocent, honestly, the placement of the Zaman Force actually mattered there. The 10% slow could have been what they needed to win out that fight entirely. Let's start with the position of Yums. Just look at where he's positioning, right? He knows, he spots out Kyle and completely shuts off that zone, and Kyle quickly turns around. Now, if Kyle got his damage down in, then Super Marco has the green light.
Innocent though, dealing a whole lot of damage. Ogwin, even with the Primal Rev, gets completely obliterated. Calteezy into the back. Eom's doing the same thing again. Stormy able to flicker out with the Primal Rat. Skies finds the Retry again, and Few is all but alone amongst the Red Giants. But even then, SRG, they say no, we will not fight. We got the Lord.
This is becoming brutal combat. Honestly, they're putting everything on the line to make these plays work out. Let's look at the replay one more time to catch up on what exactly happened. Once again, Yum starts walking forward. Despite being a man down, right? We do see that Innocent able to outplay the situation thanks to the help. He plays literally almost on top of Yums as he flickers forward to try and catch as many people possible.
Now it's about them utilizing the Enhanced Lord. Calteezy was able to secure the orange buff. Now in the mid lane, Flapteezy to get a bit of damage. The Blood Wings already done from Innocent. Look at the burst damage onto Flap, forced to use the ultimate as the Lord charges in. Innocent still holding on to Zaman Force, knows that there are going to be more waves. Few brought back to the team, now forced to use the Demonic Force. Absolutely gunned down from the skies with the Demonic Force. It didn't even matter.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting. He literally got behind him and pushed him back into the team. This could be an end angle here.
Oh, Gwen, Earth Shatter not connecting. Now with the Spear of Alpha from Skies, unable to connect. It seems they are struggling. Calteezy gets bursted down right as he cables in. The base wide open. Selangor Red Giants take match point.
They're the first to touch it. MY, 3-game win so far in this best of 7. They need one more to get the title here. All smiles on their faces, but oh my goodness, nobody would have expected it to be in this fashion.
SRG find themselves in the lead. They were looking up the whole time, but they forgot they were giants. They could stand toe-to-toe even with the Falcons.
It feels like every moment passing for SRG, the momentum is driven behind them. They're motivated, they are young, they're hot-blooded, but most importantly, they're standing taller and taller each game. Falcons AP Bren truly have a competitor.
For the first time in this tournament, Falcons AP Bren are the ones behind.
With that being said, analysts, please break this game down.
Well, the first thing that we can say, I guess, even on red side, you can still do it. But yeah, looking at this game,
yep,
it's a roller coaster, man.
That to me was the game changer. 10 minutes in, Yums with a sliver of HP just survives long enough to pop the implosion and eventually punish the entirety of Falcons AP Bren. Again, another stumble for Falcons AP Bren. Will be a good team fight as Few will be able to pop the ultimate and then kind of sacrifice for his team Super Marco to clean up, as well as Kaltizi. But then it will be disaster after disaster. This should not have happened because Falcons AP Bren are already leading by so much. But then, because of what Yums did and what Innocent will be able to do in the next Lord fight, that is how SRG is able to come back.
It's the brutal honesty that SRG are playing with that makes this game inevitable for them. I've been watching all of these engagements going through different angles, whether it be out in the open, near SRG turrets, in these small corridors. And I don't know, Few at this point, 15 minutes in, should be able to disperse them, but something about the way SRG just position themselves and punish Few as he lands every time makes it almost a useless ult.
Honestly, like every single time SRG wins a team fight, my head is like, how?
Exactly.
Like, where's the extra damage coming from? I mean, like, sure, we see the setup, maybe Falcon AP Brand walks into it, but still, it's like, how? Like, you know what, in terms of stats, you know what I really want to see? Ooh. The damage dealt. I really want to see who dealt the damage coming in from SRG.
And conversely, for FCAP, it was only Oracle as a defensive item here for Few. That's why he got burst down so easily. He went for glowing wand. He wanted to deal the damage, despite the fact that there's already a lot of damage from FCAP.
And the clock only really stacks up the longer the fight goes. But I think the call for SRG was just rain down holy fire on Phoveus, on Few, and that's why he only ever lasted like 3 seconds tops.
Ooh, interesting choice. And even the choice for the Thams coming out from Flap TZ, I did say that the Thams will be picked up. It's one of my predictions during the last weeks, and I thought that it will be because it was a tank hero with in the absence of like a Barret, of usually your tank heroes like Edith, maybe in the EXP lane. You need someone to tank for you, but instead the choice was to go for this war cry on the Thams, which, you know, evidently it worked in the early stages. Not gonna lie, we were about to nerd out about that, but in the end, it proved to be the pain of FCOP.
One thing to like nerd out is that you were talking about there was one team fight that really wanted for SRG. Honestly, the extra damage came from Edith. It is the Valentina's.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that's also a big game changer where everyone is clumped up together. And then Stormy was able to deal a lot of damage, and Innocent got to his power spike, and then the Harif was banned for a reason.
Yeah,
it was that fight that made me think, hey, that's a lot of turret hit they were taking. It wasn't turret hits. It was Stormy.
It was Stormy, yeah.
Stormy, yeah. And this time,
Stormy the Prodigy, man.
Yep. It's Harif plus the Valentina, which was the answer. I do like the idea, though, the Phoveus plus the Van. In fact, I'm looking at FCAP in this particular game. I don't think that there's any problem with their hero lineup. I think it was the execution, definitely. You see, they kind of felt very confident.
Yeah, too confident that they made decisions along the way that slowed them down, or that allowed for SRG to punish. Again, the items on Few, the loadout on the Thams, and I guess they didn't step on the clutch fast enough to say, hey, wait, this is SRG's point of no return. Like, if we can't win here and we can't end, that's it. I think there were parts of FCAP that were towards one direction, and then another that tried to, you know, save the game.
Yeah.
And now we got to look at our Sony MVP, the creme de la creme. It's creme. And again, he's showing up with his X-board, giving a lot of space, giving a lot of damage, but more important is like he always makes any kind of situation feels like a kill opportunity for SRG.
Grab the export actually is genius. We did predict that it will be the last pick, right? It made a lot of sense. Was a little bit of problem in specific points in the game, but obviously when he is needed, he turns up and made it difficult for the team fights for FCAP to happen. This was the team fight, one of the most important team fights.
The most important team fight.
No. Kaltizi will be able to get out. Oh, this is 8 minutes.
Oh, it's very similar.
Very similar.
Angle, yeah.
Exactly. Will happen in 10 minutes, and then there will be another one, first Lord Dance, which second Lord Dance, I mean, but eventually will be in favor of FCAP. I think you will also have to give credit yeah, exactly. You have to give credit to Sekais as well, managing to the second Lord Dance like survive long enough and actually able to get one kill off before. Well, he did not die afterwards, but yeah, you get my point, right? Sekais was also very important and very instrumental to that victory. So is Cram with 92% kill participation.
Yeah, between Cram and Sekais, the X-Borg and the Alpha, I think they were both the antithesis to what FCAP was trying to do. Like, if you can't kill these two dudes and you can't out-damage them, basically the fight's over.
Yeah.
Stormy just being there during that turnaround was just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. But that was all made possible by, number one, the setup by Yums, and then, again, the beta, the swings, the Spear of Alpha, and the fire missiles and the last sanity off of Cram and Sekais.
With that being said, right now, it's match point. It's a scary situation to be in, even if you're the one that is on match point, because you know at this point, if you make a mistake, then, you know, it's going to be a best of one. And that's the point. And that's a scary place to be in.
Yeah, I think for sure, SRG are feeling it. Not only with the way that they played, I think that they have gotten their momentum quite long enough today. Despite their losses, their 2 losses, it felt like they have gotten the momentum. But most importantly, momentum when it comes to drafting. Now they have figured out Falcons Heavy Brand. In fact, Falcons Heavy Brand were too hung up on whatever SRG is doing that they pick up the Fanny and the focus together. While it's true, it's good. It's actually really good. But then the fact that they reacted that way meant that SRG are getting in their heads.
So the reset did not happen the way we wanted it to. Again, the fact that they're still bringing out new picks and that these are new strats that they're trying shows that they got life in them. But was it the kind of move, the needed move here to get them to match point first? Apparently no. SRG is still ahead.
A conversation that we have to have here is talking about both junglers, because again, both junglers have proven to be one of the reasons why they've been doing so well. We got to talk about Sekais as well as Kyle Teasy. We got to talk about both junglers here, where we're looking at the stats. In terms of the numbers, honestly, it does look like more towards Kyle Teasy.
Yeah. 7 to 4.73. I guess this is because
it's quite even. Quite even.
Yeah, well, you gotta have to go back where Kyle TZ and FCAP themselves have dominated so much. For SRG, there were games that did not go in their favor. In fact, they had a 5-game series going up against Fireflux, so KDA will not be there. But overall, really good. I think that in this particular grand final so far, and I'm not only saying this because it's a 3-2 that favors SRG. So far, it's Sekai's getting the better off of Kyle TZ, mainly because because you remember when Kyle TZ went for the utility, he lost. But this time, game number 5, utility for Sekais, he still wins.
You know what? The comparison between these two players go as far back as their starts in MLBB esports. Kyle TZ, Alpha Pro Esports, his amateur team in the early years. Sekais, ELX Esports in his early years. So, and they were both homegrown by these giant, all puns intended, orgs, right? They started their pro careers under SRG, under Falcons AP Bren. So now this is all the payoff. This is their prime form now.
I gotta say, Sekais is one of those guys where I would say fans of him is like, he's good, he's okay, but he's nothing like special, you know? But now he's really grown in his career after like, what, 1 or 2 years in the scene. Now he's really developing into this Sky Prince that has to be respected, because before this, it's just like, whether he's there or not, you know he's a good player, but again, he's not going to be game-changing. Now, he's a game-changer.
SRG, the whole team, the whole franchise put the work into this young man, and now here's the payoff. I honestly haven't seen a jungler with such a killer instinct, even compared to Kyle TZ, because Kyle plays the map. Kyle is one of those few junglers that can play both sides of the coin of utility assassin. But when you see Sekais on an assassin, it just
laser focus.
It just plays right. It's laser focused. It's scalpel precise, and it's just as brutal as a machete. You know what I mean? Like he's just a katana even.
I think it also, if you're looking at SRG and specifically how they are utilizing Sakai's and how Sakai's actually plays, it kind of makes me think that they are playing so many games with different kinds of heroes. And it's actually backed up by the fact that Coach Arcadia and the entirety of SRG reveals that they are playing so much actually, even after their scrims, right? So they are playing a lot of ranked games together as a team. I think that they have extended scrims as well. So they're really just focusing on so much reps on their side, because if you're going to be comparing both the Fanny usages of Kaltis as well as Sakai's is more favored, and it kind of felt like Kaltis is more on the rusty side of things. If you look back at Sakai's play, I think he only missed 2 cables.
Sorry to cut you off there, but again, this is an intense match. Sky's only 17, and that's crazy. But with that being said, we're sending it over to the stage.
Tension is hanging in the air. Heart-stopping climax. This is the clash of true titans. They're not just here to compete. They're here to dominate. They're here to become legendary.
The score is currently 3-2. And now, Selangor Red Giants are 1 win away from being crowned the MSC 2024 champions. Can Falcons AP Bren take us all the way to 7 games?
Now we want to hear from the audience. Let's hear it from the fans of Falcons AP Bren.
Okay, I see you guys. I see the Filipino crowd. I see the Falcons fans. But now I want to ask, what about the Selangor Red Giants? Are you not entertained?
The Amazon Arena is ready. Let's start game number 6.
It is time to go over to our panelists. Boys and girls, it's your time to shine. Game 6 awaits.
Dude, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd.
I'm still wondering, so which is which?
No, honestly, crazy. Like I feel like the panel represents the
we're everyone.
The crowd.
We're all.
Right now it's like 2-1, right?
We're very together.
We're very together. Now, here's the thing. In Malaysia is going wild as well. Like right now in Malaysia, the watch party, I saw like 6, 7, maybe even 9 different watch parties in Malaysia. Like, it's insane.
This is one of them.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, put it into context. This has never happened before. Like, being in the grand finals is a dream. Having match point. Wow.
Whoa.
Wait, why is there so many?
Whoa.
There's about 2,000 people there.
Whoa.
Wait, I didn't. Okay, this caught me by surprise. Why
this is
another few thousand in there?
Yo, I feel proud. Shout outs to Malaysia.
Yo, F-Cup crowd looks small in comparison.
Exactly.
At least in the Amazon Arena.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the Philippines it's still huge, but still.
Yeah.
Dude, this grand finals is living up to the hype.
Hey, if this was a BO5, it would have been over.
Yes. To put it into perspective, you're correct.
You're correct.
Just saying, that's how high the stakes are. And just one game, one more win for SRG, and we usher in a new era of MLBB esports.
If SRG wins this one, DJY is correct?
I take it back. We already are in a new age, given how far this series has gone.
That's right.
And now we're jumping straight into the pick and bans. SRG is going to be on red once again. Falcons AP Brand is on the blue. They're banning out the Turizla. This time, respecting Stormy on the Valentina, gonna get banned out. Chip has been banned out by SRG.
Okay, so that means what? Roger Harris being opened once again.
I kind of want to see the Roger go, not gonna lie.
Nope.
The Julian.
Gotta hit the Julian.
So you ban Ling if you're F-Cap, right?
This feels like a very familiar.
Ben Fanny.
Oh, Ben Fanny, and then they pick up the Ling, right?
Yeah.
This just feels like M2.
Feels like M2?
Feels like M2. Just replace SRG with the Burmese ghouls.
That's so true. That's actually so true.
That's how high the stakes are.
Yeah. So it should be...
That was my first international, man.
Yeah.
Brings back memories. But now, Ling or Roger, or let both of them go and ban on something like a Moskov or something.
Yeah. Or you ban Moskov.
I don't
so
know.
that it will be just Ling if it is picked up by FCAP, and then you answer with
the Roger jungle.
Yeah, Harith. Harith Valentine is not open this time, so maybe.
I don't envy the coaches, by the way. Like, drafting like this must be very stressful. The Ling has been banned out, so
it's just Roger or Harith at this point for FCAP.
Yep.
If you're FCAP, I mean, historically they want the Roger.
Yep.
But I think it's still a 50-50 between these two. Yep.
Roger.
So you go Roger. So you go Harith. And maybe get the Hayabusa
Arlet
as soon as possible.
I think the Arlet is a risk. As good of a hero as he is, he's one of those, you're either great or you're chocolate, you know?
Arlet's a FCAP choice. Yeah, I don't chalk it up to SRG to do that.
And then there's also the Angela, which I think will most likely be on FCAP. Unless SRG takes it, but yeah, I think it's more of an FCAP hero. SRG will want to go for the Harith, together with Musa. Yeah,
Harith Musa.
You it
this early, huh?
Yeah, Harabusa. And then in this case, you want to pick up the Minotaur as soon as possible for FCAP because that was already always banned by SRG. Answers this Hayabusa for sure. At the same time, you want to secure your EXP lane. Honestly, the fact that Yu Zhong has always been let go by both teams kind of surprises me at this point, especially because there's always like Hayabusa on the other side.
Right now we have a player quote coming in from Kyle TZ. I don't think SRG is any easier. We just want to focus on winning, not our opponent. And Wolf, like you said, Minotaur picked up as well as the Arlet. Both of you guys get a point each.
Thanks.
Connection.
The points are made up, by the way, so
yeah,
they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Do you pick up the Ruby now if you are, or the Cho for SRG?
The fact that both are available and neither are a flex means FCAP won't ban both. So I think you can still get away with either. I don't think they want to pry that pick here.
Yeah, that's also true. So
they're fine. You know, SRG is comfortable. They're uncomfortably comfortable.
Yeah.
Like they have so much left in the pocket that it's FCAP who's thinking, even if it's SRG's turn to pick.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Maybe
I'm not comfortable.
Maybe you want to go Borg. Oh, okay. Very nice.
Okay. I need to ask the casters. What do you guys think of the opener coming in from SRG, having the Hayabusa Harith as well as the Lilia?
I don't know about you boys here, but even between me and Mirko, we were thinking like whether or not that Lilia pick should have been Yutong.
Yeah, for sure. I thought for sure it was going to be Yuzong, right? Because for Falcons AP Brand, they rarely do this, but they actually reveal the Minotaur and the Arla instantly. No flex onto the Arla anymore. So I thought for sure SRG wanted to give Cram that winning matchup to just snowball in the game.
Hey, you know, maybe they're just like, you know what, Stormy, it's your time to shine, and maybe there's a secret EXP pick, or just go back to something like a CC, who knows.
The good thing about getting the Lilia is that it definitely challenges Fuse hero pool. So they ban the Phovius, and then what, they're gonna ban Farsa next?
I didn't think it was possible to choke out you, man. Not like this.
Well, that's also true.
That's amazing. All right, they take out the Cho. Am I getting my words? Just take out the Cho in their own because the Tigreal's still out there. Never mind.
We did say that it could be the Cho as the third pick for SRG, but it was banned out. There's also that Yu Zhong that we keep on talking about because it's a very strong pick. But then again, they can fourth pick it if ever.
Yeah, I also think they'd rather let the Ruby through.
Yes.
Than the Tigreal. So they'll ban out the Tigreal.
Yes.
Tigreal was so good last game, so I think that would be best for FCAP.
What about the Aurora ban here?
For
Moskov. Oh, forgot about Moskov.
All right.
So probably gonna pick up the Claude later.
It depends if they wanna. It depends on the fourth pick. If this is Tigreal,